Welcome everyone back to another video on the Passion for Cars channel. Today's the big day. Today's the day that car gets an exhaust system. And that's because in the boot of this car, I've got a box here from R44 Performance, and it's a Scorpion exhaust. Specifically, it's a OPF back exhaust, which I will explain later in the video why I went for this, but open this up a little bit. In here I've got what is the back box here. These are the pipes that come out of the back box at either side, and this is a long pipe that runs to the end of the box. That is just a single resonator delete pipe. That is what the OPF back exhaust is. And along with that, and this is my favorite part, in here I've got the exhaust tips, and once unpackaged, this is what the exhaust tip looks like. It's a Scorpion obviously exhaust tip, chrome. The options was to get it in chrome, black chrome, or carbon, but I don't think you actually understand the sheer size of this thing. This is massive. It's so big that my current exhaust tips, which are also a lot bigger than the standard one, and it's carbon, this fits inside. Like, it can go inside. I'm not going to because I don't want to damage this or my carbon ones, but this is humongous and it's gonna look so sick. Like, it's gonna be so good. And you might be wondering why I went for chrome. The reason why I went for chrome is chrome, I think, stands out because the whole surrounding is black. I feel like if I got carbon again, it wouldn't hit the same because I've already got carbon. And to be honest, I think these look cooler than the carbon ones that Scorpion do, because these have like these gold inserts which are now turning blue and purple because of the heat. I just think if I was to get the carbon one, I probably wouldn't have enjoyed it as much. But with chrome, it breaks up the color nicely, and because it's not got a carbon cover around it, it means that the chrome itself is actually a lot bigger, and obviously it's going to come out, break the color up nicely. But the good news is that if I don't like it, I can just take them off and put these ones back on, or buy some different ones. But I think for me it's going to be changing between these two, and I don't think I'll be changing from that one very soon because I really like the Scorpion writing that it has as well. It's a nice little touch to it. But yeah, the car is finally getting an exhaust system on the car. We've got about an hour's drive to get to the place that's going to install it for us. So what I'll do is, because we're going to be leaving in a few hours, I'm going to cut to the part where we're getting there, and yeah, we'll see the exhaust system on the M140i. So as you can see here, we've got the original system with the car up on the ramps here at Style Dynamics. What this exhaust will do is that second resonator you can see, it will start from deleting that all the way to the back, removing the back box. Of course, being a child, I had to ask them if they could start the car with the exhaust cut off from the midsection. It just had to be done, and it sounded awesome. And just like that, the work is done. The OPF back Scorpion exhaust is on the vehicle, just about to get it started for the first time, and then we ended up driving it home. It's not gonna work in cold stuff. Thingy, that's You've now joined me on the next day after I've installed the OPF back exhaust on my M140i, and I've had a good amount of driving done with this new exhaust since we got it installed yesterday. Got it installed about an hour away near High Wycombe. So I had a good journey back to basically test it out, make sure is there any issues or anything, and I just gotta say I'm super impressed, I'm not gonna lie. Before we get onto sound and everything, we'll just look at how it looks. I mean, look at these tips. I showed you lot earlier in the video today how big they are. They fill out the gaps so nicely. The Scorpion logo on top is just perfect. And obviously they just look so much apart. I've seen so many M140s with these big exhaust tips like that, and I really think this looks really good. I'm not gonna lie. I'm really happy with that. The car is just epic. Sound wise, it sounds amazing. I'm gonna put in a sound clip so you can compare between the old stock setup to this new OPF back Scorpion exhaust setup in all the modes as well for you now. So as you can tell, it's just night and day difference, right? The thing is, with a 68 plate car, we need to speak about the OPF. Now, with the OPF, which is on every single car that is 68 plate or newer, basically they all come with a little OPF, which you will have seen in the install video of where it is. Basically, you can't remove those legally. They're a legal requirement for it to be there, so you cannot remove it. And supposedly if you remove it, it should fail an MOT, because supposedly there's a visual inspection. Now, I know people remove them, they just do. There's no like trying to hide it. I haven't removed mine, it's still there. This is an OPF back exhaust, meaning that it's from the OPF, leaving that alone, to the back. So the second resonator on this stock exhaust is deleted with a straight pipe, and you've got a smaller, less restrictive back box. That's what this is basically. And yeah, with the OPF still being there, it means that this obviously is all legal. I've not removed it or nothing. It will pass MOT, pass emissions. But for people who have removed it, I've never ever seen an MOT failure reason code that explains that the OPF was not there. I just suppose that a car would fail it if it failed emissions, supposedly is like what's happening at the moment. But that's obviously the main reason why it's an OPF back exhaust and not a cat back or a dual res delete. Just take my jacket off because it is really hot today. But there is a way of not removing an OPF part of the exhaust, but still extracting more sound out of it. And that's what I think I'm gonna have to go down the route of eventually, to get more sound out of it. But at the moment, for me, this is my second car and I've never modified a car like this before. So for me, going from a stock M140i, which everyone knows does not sound the best at all. It sounds good when you cold start it, and when you move off with a cold start, and by no means move off when you're obviously doing a cold start if you've not driven it for a while. But with B58s, and anyone who has one knows, the car does a cold start every single time, no matter how long you've just driven for, stopped. Let's say you're filling up petrol and you start the car back up, it will do a full cold start sequence. So then when you move off in those situations, because the engine's already hot, it sounds amazing on stock. But after that, there's nothing. With this exhaust, what I love the most is that on idle, it has a rumble. It has an actual rumble. Before, on idle, you could not tell that the car's even on stock. So that's made a massive difference. There's a drone, but this is a good drone. What I mean by the drone or a good drone is when you just put your foot down slightly, whether you've just come off a red light, whether you're on the motorway and you just need to accelerate a little bit, the noise that comes out of the exhaust through the car, you feel it in your hands, you feel it through the seats. It's got some atmosphere with it now. It feels connected, and it just got some character with it now. Like it's got a deep rumble now, and I just think that has been the main improvement. Now I am pretty much got a child mentality. I want these pops and bangs, and I want stupid pops and bangs. And with this exhaust, it's obviously still on the stock tune. So the pops and bangs that come out of an M140i that's stock is really it's not really pops or bangs, it's more just dribble, if that kind of makes sense. It's not like not loud explosions, but that's not exactly what I want, but it's just like little rumbles that you can hear, and you could barely hear it before, but now when you like shift down to like gear 2 and you let off the throttle, you can hear some crackles. You can definitely hear it from outside of the car rather than inside of the car. But one thing for sure is that with this exhaust, it's not going to change the tune, obviously, because that's not what these do. It's not going to change how much more or less it will crackle. It just makes those crackles more pronounced, and you can hear it from the cabin a bit better. But for what I want with the pops and bangs, I definitely need MHD, which is something that I am going to get soon. I might just get it with the stage 1 tune. Hopefully my DME is not locked. My car's not made after June 2020, so it should be fine, but sometimes they might have even locked previous ones as well. But yeah, it's going to be a bit of an issue if my DME is locked. I don't want to make the video too long for you because I want to do more videos on the exhaust. I want to do POV videos so that you can hear what it's like driving about, daily driving and whatever. But just want to quickly round it up with the pros and the cons. The pros, it's definitely made a difference if you've got a stock M140i. It's OPF friendly, so if you've got an OPF that you legally cannot remove, or supposed to not remove, this is friendly with that because it doesn't affect the OPF. No sensors, no coding needed, it's just pure metal to metal. typical sort of thing, you just cut the old one off. No welding, so it just basically a straight cut. This one connects over the old one and then it's clamped on, and the rest is just connected with clamps and bolts. Another pro is that I think it looks amazing in terms of the exhaust tips. I think whether you go for the carbon ones or the chrome ones, both will look amazing. I really do advocate for the chrome ones. I think they look awesome. They really fill out the spaces in this aftermarket diffuser, and I really like big exhaust tips because you don't want them to be small, right? Like, I just think the old carbon ones, as good as they look, they weren't big enough, so I think this is perfect for that as well. And the last pro I want to mention, which is my favorite one, is when you're stopped and you're revving the car, it sounds amazing. It runs through the car, through the cabin so well. It doesn't drone on the motorway, by the way, so don't take the droning part that I liked as an sort of it drones on the motorway. It really doesn't. But when you rev the car, it feels really good. Now on to the negatives. I'm going to be transparent with you all. Obviously I paid for everything because I paid for the part, paid for everything, and it was £1,000 altogether. £800 for the exhaust, £200 to get it fitted by Style Dynamics, and for £1,000 it's quite expensive for what you get, in my opinion, because if my car was not a 68 plate, if it was a 67, I could have gone to a garage to just simply cut out both resonators, put weld on two straight metal pipes, and it would have probably cost me £350 to £400. So I could have paid literally 30 to 40% of what I paid, and probably get roughly the same result. Obviously they don't include the back box, which is what this one is as well, the smaller back box, but still it's quite a lot of money, but it's what you have to pay to not, you know, mess with regulations and all that stuff.
Just cutting myself off because we ran into an issue with this exhaust.
I'm hoping you can hear the sort of hum as you can hear it hitting the rail. You can hear it. I'm hoping it's coming through on camera.
Basically, it's not coming through on camera very well, but the exhaust is actually hitting the little center tunnel brace that all BMWs have, because the gap is so small due to this exhaust not using the secondary bracket on the OEM exhaust that's been cut off. So we do address this very shortly, but basically it's not coming across on camera, but going over every hump or any sort of bump in the road, it used to just bounce off and hit it. It was like a metal clanging noise. As you can see in this footage, it's very close to this center tunnel brace, so because of the bracket not being used on the OEM system, it just means that when the exhaust naturally moves under any sort of humps or going over a bump, it just ends up hitting it and it makes a really annoying noise. So what we do is we replace this with a solution that Scorpion have come up with.
Okay, so an update. Obviously I've taken it off now. Very easy, just takes a T45 bolt it took. But with this being here, the clearance between this pipe and that had become very, very low. And that's because this, obviously, which is part of the OPF back exhaust, is slightly lower than the OEM one. One, because it's a 3-inch pipe, so it's bigger here. But mainly the reason is because it doesn't have, this system does not use the OEM second exhaust hanger bracket. I'm going to show you a picture from my OEM exhaust, which has a bracket, and I can't find where here it actually bolted onto, but basically the old system, this part here, it bolted onto somewhere on the chassis, and that's what obviously held it up, so there was enough gap with this. But with this system, which naturally lowers this end of the exhaust, it's basically making it so that this is hitting that. So I've got a solution. And that solution is what's in here from Scorpion as well. Let me just get it opened up for you. In here, we've got the replacement bracket that's going to go on the same place where that other bracket was before. The good thing about this, as you can clearly tell, is that Scorpion know that this is an issue, because they've now made one where it's not just flat like the old one, it goes down. So basically what that means is that there's enough clearance, or should be, so that exhaust doesn't bounce around on this. We just need to reuse the same bolts and put this back on. And so that's the Scorpion tunnel brace on there, and you can see how much more of a gap there is now. Like, you can fully fit a finger through, which before you could not even do that with the stock center brace. Obviously I know the exhaust starts after it, but without the use of that second exhaust hanger, which usually is around here, it just means that it must be sitting just that bit lower. And if you do change any part of this exhaust to like a more thicker part, then you're definitely gonna want this as well. But obviously it's extra money that wasn't part of the exhaust build that I thought, so it's just something to take in mind. But let's just go for a test drive. Right, we're gonna go down the same road. I don't know if you guys could ever hear it through the camera anyway, but I can definitely hear it. Will be able to hear it, and so far no noise where I know there was making a noise before. Nothing. So that was the second part. Perfect. And there you go. If you buy yourself a Scorpion exhaust, whether it's the OPF back or a dual res delete, especially if you get a 3-inch pipe, you might need to also get the Scorpion center exhaust tunnel brace. I'm pretty sure this applies to all F series and G series, because I think even G series still have the center brace. How much did it cost? It cost me £78 just for that brace, so that's a bit crazy to me. Bringing the total cost of the whole exhaust, which is just an OPF back exhaust, including labour, just under 1.1k. So is it worth it? To me, this is my first sort of modification like this. The car sounds amazing. I've got way more plans to make it sound even better. Those videos will be out soon, but I'm glad that's gone, because that was driving me insane, and it was just annoying. But no, I'm really happy with this mod, and that is going to be the end of today's video. If you enjoyed it, hit that like button, and if you're not subscribed already, hit that subscribe button, and then that way you won't miss any of our future uploads. Hoping to get more consistent as well as these mods get on. Sun is shining, to be fair, summer's coming, so there's going to be a lot more videos coming out, so yeah, stay tuned. Anyway, I'll catch you on the next one. Take care and peace.